Today I'm testing the GH6 versus the G9 photo image quality resolution comparison. I want to see if the extra 5 megapixel is enough to make a difference in terms of detail and resolution in a still picture. So I shot 3 sets of pictures in the same location, same lens, same focal length, same settings. The reason I want to do a comparison is because when I first got a GH6, I saw the picture and they are amazing. They're so much better than my old G9 and GH5 images. It just blew me away, and I was so happy, and I was sharing online and making videos about it. And then I just realized that I used Lightroom to edit GH6 images because the other software I've been using in the past 3 years, on1 RAW, does not support GH6 RAW file just yet. They're working on it. So I had to subscribe to Lightroom just to edit GH6 files. And it turns out the difference in image quality was very likely due to the difference in editing software. So I did a little bit of test in on1 RAW. And the Lightroom, I put some exact same images in both software, and the photos came out just completely different. The Lightroom photo came out clean, clear, sharp, a lot of contrast, a lot of detail. I don't know where they got the detail from, but yeah, it's amazing. And the image from on1 RAW, it just looked mushy and soft and hazy and lack detail. It's the opposite of Lightroom. And on1 RAW, it's slow. It's much slower editing software for some reason. It's slow and it's bad. And Lightroom it creates beautiful images and it's fast. I don't understand how, but maybe I messed up some setting in on1 RAW. So that's why I decided to do this test and see if there's actually a difference between G9 and GH6 images. Alright, we're in Lightroom and we have the G9 and GH6 files side by side. We can take a look. On the left side is the G9 and on the right side it is the GH6. Let's zoom all the way in and see the difference. Actually, somehow the G9 file is a little bit more magnified. I don't know why. They should be the same focal length. Let's check it. 40mm, 40mm. There's no difference there. So that is weird. We can zoom in a little bit more with a GH6. Okay, so once you zoom in this much, you can see that the G9 is a little bit more pixelated than the GH6. When you zoom to the extreme, yeah, G9 is just a little bit more pixelated, obviously, because it has a little bit less pixels. So all right, let's look at the sign. It's easier to judge by the sign. You can read from both, actually, so it's not a huge difference. Vietato entrare. Okay, 4.1, 5.1. I think the GH6 is maybe a little bit smoother than the G9. Yeah, the edge along the edge just look a tiny, a touch of smoother, but I wouldn't say it has more details in this picture. So I think they're pretty much on par. All right, let's take a look at the other pictures. Okay, once again on the left it's the G9, on the right is GH6, both at 25mm. Let's take a look here. I feel like there's more detail here in the GH6. It's very hard to tell. It's very close. Once again, so the difference is not as big as I initially thought. So very likely the huge difference I saw was just due to editing software difference. Okay, the last set of picture. On the left, G9, on the right, GH6. And this time is at 18mm. And yeah, once again, it's indistinguishable. If you don't tell me which one is which, I couldn't tell which one is which. So yeah. It's basically impossible to tell the difference, except when you zoom all the way in, the round edge is softer on the GH6 because it has a little bit more pixel, and the G9 is a little bit more pixelated. So that, yeah, that's the only difference I can see here. So yeah, if you're shooting with a G9, don't worry, it's probably gonna be basically the same as GH6, 25 megapixel, 5 more pixel, doesn't make that huge of a difference, which is good news for G9. If I want to shoot photo, I can safely just shoot G9, GH5. I don't have to worry about missing out on the 5 extra megapixel, but the GH6 does have handheld 100 megapixel high-res mode, so that is a huge advantage. So after the comparison, as you can see, there are basically tiny, the smallest possible difference between two cameras in still images. So I'm glad that the G9 can shoot just as amazing images, so I don't have to worry about missing out. But I'm also sad that it's actually on1, the editing software, that sucked so bad that it made all my like in the past 3 years, maybe 10,000 images have been ruined. Like they are just a level below what it should have been, what it could have been. If I edited everything in Lightroom, I would have made much better image quality, have much better image quality for those past 3 years images. Okay, just to demonstrate what I was talking about, the editing software difference, here I'm going to show you some random pictures I took in the past that I edited in different softwares. And one is in Lightroom, one is in on1, and we'll see, I'll show you the difference. And this one is edited in Lightroom. Let's take a look at the other one. Let's take a look at the one where I edited on on1. Let's zoom in here. All right, this is what it looks like. And now let's go to Lightroom. The one I edited with a Lightroom, basically minimum editing. It didn't do much. It just import export. And this is the Lightroom image. Do you see the difference? Because I can see a gigantic difference. Contrast, more contrasty, more detail in the brick wall. You can see the pattern here in on1 file. You don't even see the pattern on the wall. And I think this is the picture that I actually tried to make it look like Lightroom, or maybe not this one, but do you see the difference? How on1 is ruining your picture. This is crazy. This is really frustrating. Lightroom, on1. Lightroom, on1. I'm not crazy, right? There's a clear difference. All right, let's take a look at some other pictures. Lightroom, on1. Right off the bat, you can see that it has less contrast. The image is flatter for some reason. It's not as colorful, saturated, not as saturated. All right, zoom in to this thing. Zoom in. Pay attention to the tree leaves, the branches, the leaves. Look how well defined it is. Exported with the Lightroom. And with on1, it's soft, it's mushy. It doesn't have a clear defined profile. It's just a mess. It's a mess. And I've been using this software for past 3 years. I've been making a mess of all my pictures. Thousands of them, if not tens of thousands. This is so frustrating. This is so frustrating. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe I didn't do a comparison before I buy this software. Please let me know if I did something wrong with my setting in OneRAW. I'm not a technical expert, so please let me know. So I could feel a little bit better, because at least I will know that it's because I'm an idiot. It's a user error, not because I made a stupid decision. All right, here you can actually see someone reviewing this software on DP Review website forum. And this post is from 2016. And let's see what he says about OneRAW. Just another voice hoping to help others not to waste their money. OneRAW photo RAW is at best a partially functioning beta, and I'm amazed it has been brought to a market in the current form. It's awful. The raw rendering is nasty. This is exactly my experience. When I am not wrapping presents, I'll send some LR, C1, and 1 comparisons. Although Lightroom, C1, I don't know what it is. Although others already have. In short, C1 and Lightroom are close in quality, slight variations of warmth, and open to personal favorite. The OneRAW render is way off in color and exposure. The color is way off, particularly poor in highlights. It is only half a system, a single display, and slow. This is exactly my experience. I've been using this in the past 3 years, and I even upgraded from the 2019 version to the 2023 version, and it did not speed up. They improved nothing in terms of speed, in terms of editing speed, import speed, loading speed, export speed. Everything is just as slow as it was in 2019. And it's slow, let me tell you, it is slow. Every time you click on the next image, it takes 2 seconds to load. In Lightroom, you click the next image, it shows you the next image immediately, and you can edit already. In OneRAW, you click on the next image, you have to sit there for 2-3 seconds, wait for the computer to load, and then you can adjust whatever you want, and it's slow. That's crazy. Don't believe the fast processing thing. It is definitely not fast. Not at all. All the claims of instant rendering are hooey, absolutely true. This is from 2016. It's been how many years? 7 years. They did not improve the color rendering, the raw processing. They did not improve their processing speed. They did not improve anything. This is just... I don't understand. How can a company do this? This is from 2016. Let that sink in. All the problems he says is still present. It's still there. So yeah, I'm back to Lightroom now. Even though it's gonna be a little bit expensive in the long run, but it's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna be shooting a lot of photos, and it will be worth it. OneRAW, I used it for 3 years, and now I regret it. I wish I didn't get into OneRAW because I was looking for a cheap alternative to Lightroom, because I don't want to support subscription-based business model for software. That's why I picked a alternative, and it turned out I picked a bad alternative, unfortunately. I even tried to make an image, to edit image in OneRAW to look like Lightroom image, but I couldn't. Exact same raw picture that I edited in OneRAW, it just come out with less detail. There must be something wrong. Like, there must be a setting that some setting that I'm doing wrong, because I can't believe it. How can they just ruin a picture? Like software, can't you just export as it is? How can you ruin like to that degree that when I see the actual good image edited, exported from Lightroom, it's a day and night difference? That made me make a video praising how amazing GH6 is for photography, for still images, and it turned out it's It's just the software, the editing software. It's such nonsense. Yeah, I'm kind of sad.